You have queued up the Roulette Tapes, a program of adventurous music and conversation recorded at the New York City Concert Hall, Roulette. You can hear thousands of concert recordings from Roulette's past and present and find news of upcoming events celebrating innovation and imagination at roulette.org. Aren't you curious?
Welcome to another episode of the Roulette Tapes. I'm Susan James. The Roulette Concert Archives are a digital treasure chest of live recordings from the Roulette stage. Enter the name Jennifer Choi into the search bar and up comes highlights from a career full of delightful performances. In this episode, we hear samples of Jennifer's work in a variety of settings, complete with her comments on those concerts and a little background. Here's Jennifer Choi on the Roulette Tapes.
My name is Jennifer Choi, and I play the violin. And I've been in the New York new music scene for a good couple of decades already. I'm originally from Portland, Oregon, but I moved to New York to get my master's at the Juilliard School, which was like studying really classically trained violin. But I've been doing a lot of new music and improvisation for a very long time and working with composers and just loving that whole atmosphere. Well, I started at a really young age. Music was in my family. My mother loved music. She actually was a composition major herself from Korea. I'm Korean American. So we got a lot of training right away because it was just what we did in our family. We played music together. We went to Suzuki classes, my sisters and I. I just fell in love with the repertoire, really. The violin standard repertoire was so beautiful to me. I went to Oberlin as well before Juilliard. There's a really nice contemporary music program out there. I got exposed to it pretty early, and it was just fascinating for me. It's actually not even the violin, it was just all the music, all the instruments coming together really fascinated me and the different rhythms that I was hearing. I guess I just fell into doing more and more music like that, and it continued to become so interesting as well because improvisation was a thing that I didn't really do as a child, but it wasn't until I got to New York that I started to improvise. And then that just took on another realm because there's so many creative artists to work with in New York. So that's been amazing, actually.
Lou Harrison's Concerto for Violin and Percussion, Jennifer Choi with Talujon Percussion Ensemble.
man, Talujon, they're awesome. I love these guys. They're an amazing percussion ensemble. I think they have 6 people usually performing pretty regularly together. And a couple of them you may know. Dave Cosson is also a Bang on a Can member, and one of the other guys, Ian, is playing in Yarn Wire, I believe. So each of them have also their own projects and teach in the various institutions around the area, the New York City area. Great guys. It was my idea to put that piece together because I've always loved concertos. And how cool is it that we have one by Lou Harrison, who's a West Coast person like myself, because I'm from Portland, and I'm pretty sure he lived in Oregon and California. It was just really fun because he's using percussion instruments that are like you can find them in your kitchen or in your house, like flower pots, like clay pots. And he brings that into the percussion mix. So it's a wide array of instruments on stage. And then it's just neat how you can get 5 percussion instruments and a violin, and that's a concerto. Whereas normally it's, a whole orchestra. And at that time, I know Roulette was wanting to do larger ensembles, so I wanted to also kind of go in line with that. So I asked Jim if we could do that piece, and he was thrilled to have it. The performance with Marco Cappelli and Vongku Pak, at that time, I wanted to explore my Korean roots so badly. I was writing little bits of music that sounded more Korean at the time, or like Korean folk music. And I knew that Vong was playing the Korean drums. And I always loved hearing Korean drums from when I was a kid. We would go and the Korea Society of Oregon actually had performances of traditional music. And I actually learned how to do Korean fan dancing at that time. And that went along with the Korean drums. So when I saw Vong playing in an ensemble somewhere, I think it was at like one of the Samsung galleries or something like that. And he was there doing something with Oh Kyung Lee, I believe. And I just thought, man, I really want to play with him. And Marco had come up to me too in a performance and said, hey, Jen, we should play together sometime. And he's got this real fun personality. So we actually were a group for maybe a couple of years. And we found concerts to play, the 3 of us. So it was guitar, violin, and these Korean drums. And we just got together, sat down, wrote some music. Everyone put their ideas together, and then we had a concert. It was so great. We got to play at Roulette.
In another ensemble, we have Jennifer Choi on violin, Ikue Mori on laptop, Marco Cappelli on guitar, and Rubin Kodheli on electric cello.
Okay, that's Sweet Combustion. Rubin is this fabulous cellist that I met at Juilliard. We were at Juilliard together. And wow, I mean, the way that he goes into his musicianship is just so soulful and deep and kind of like wild. I think actually one of the pieces we played was called Jungle or something. That was one of his pieces. And well, now he's touring with Laurie Anderson doing his thing, which is so cool. But at the time, we just thought it would be neat to put together those sounds. And so that was basically it. We just wanted to bring these eclectic sounds together. We thought they were eclectic at the time. And it was just really fun, as I recall.
Jennifer Choi has also collaborated over the years with drummer Susie Ibarra. Here she is in Dreamtime Ensemble.
This is a newer project that is just about 2 or 3 years old now. Susie just cut another album that's coming out soon with the same lineup. And that's been great because back in the early 2000s, I toured with Susie and Craig Taborn. So it was piano, violin, and drums. And so I've got a long relationship with Susie. We toured Europe together multiple times. And wow, those are some really amazing. I mean, that was when there were like a lot more concerts, I guess, compared to COVID years. But anyway, wow. Yeah, basically, I basically learned how to improvise from being in that ensemble. Because I had just graduated Juilliard having no idea that I was going to be an improviser at that time. So this is dating me. So to play with Susie now, and we've got some younger guys in the mix, like Jake Landau, he's playing piano, Rhodes, guitar. He kind of switches around instruments in that ensemble. But to have that essence of Susie, it's really special what she does, and I loved seeing how now we're in this new permutation, and we've got Claudia Acuna is singing, so there's a singer in that ensemble, and it's just beautiful music. So in that scenario, I'm an interpreter and an improviser. It's something that I take pride in now because I've been an interpreter for a really long time, and I take it seriously, and it's something that I feel natural, I guess, doing. Interpreting new music is kind of what I'm going at. Yeah, and it's great to be in this formation now, slightly different than the trio, and the music has definitely evolved, and it has to because it's 5 of us now, so instead of 3. So it's just beautiful to be able to breathe and play that music with Susie again.
Coming up on the Roulette calendar, a new live stream performance from Jennifer Choi with Kathleen Sapova and James Moore.
And so I'm just so excited to be coming back, and I'm so grateful and honored that Roulette asked me to play this concert because, that's how Roulette has always been. It's just been open arms, and I love that they're so accommodating and they're so innovative, and they want you to really express yourself. And so I'm really excited that I'm playing with colleagues that are very dear to me. Kathleen Sapovi is playing piano, and she's marvelous, new music pianist. And she's also from Portland, Oregon, funny enough. We've known each other for a really long time and have collaborated for maybe 2 decades now, I want to say. And so we'll be doing a set along with James Moore, fabulous guitarist. So the program is going to be a lot of improvised music, but also I took the opportunity this year to hone in on some composition skills. So I actually took some classes because, normally I'm an interpreter and an improviser, but I wanted to see what it's like to actually compose more. I sort of dabbled at it before, but now I wanted to see what it's like to get it all on paper. So I'm really excited to bring a couple of new tunes that we'll be trying out. And there's a possibility that we'll play a couple of composers as well. I'm thinking James Ilgenfritz, who wrote this piece that's fabulous for this ensemble, and possibly some other composers, but it all depends on how much we can rehearse due to COVID. But that's sort of the plan right now. But I'm really excited to bring these sounds together because these are some fabulous musicians and improvisers, and each of them has their own projects going as well. So James Moore and Kathleen Sapovi, definitely worth to check out, both of them. Roulette is incredibly special. I actually went to Roulette for the first time when it was in Jim's loft. And this is probably this is probably 1999 or maybe 2000. I can't remember exactly the year, but it was when you could smoke in venues. And so for this concert, I believe it was Ciro Baptista for sure, because he was playing the drums. And I'm pretty sure Jim was playing that night, and John Zord. And it blew me away because it was really one of the first purely improvisation concerts that I had gone to at that time. And I didn't even know that kind of music existed before. And it was fascinating. It really did blow my mind. And then the first time that I got to play at Roulette was in their Soho space. So I didn't play in Jim's loft because I think shortly after that they moved to the Soho space, and then more recently to Brooklyn. So for me, Roulette, it's a great place where some of the most innovative musicians, instrumentalists, improvisers, creative musicians have played for a long time. So it's a special place to be a part of.
A sampling of the work of violinist Jennifer Choi. The full performances are available online at the Roulette Archives. The Roulette Tapes is a production of Roulette Intermedium. This project is made possible in part by support from the National Endowment for the Arts and the Grammy Museum. Our executive producer is David Weinstein. I'm Susan James. As always, thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to the Roulette Tapes on your favorite podcast app.
You have been listening to the Roulette Tapes, a program of adventurous music and conversation. This series is produced by Roulette Intermedium. You can find thousands of concert recordings from Roulette's archives and news of upcoming events at roulette.org.